George and the Spectacular Spidey Swing. A special bedtime story for George. Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Manhattan, lived a young boy named George. George was an imaginative and adventurous child, always seeking excitement in his everyday life. He loved bedtime stories, especially ones about superheroes and their incredible feats. Little did he know that he was about to embark on an amazing adventure of his own. One evening, as George closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, he found himself in a dream world where he possessed the amazing powers of his favorite superhero, Spidey. George could swing from skyscraper to skyscraper, just like Spidey himself. He swung through the city, his web slinging echoing through the night. As George explored the city, he noticed a commotion down below. Curiosity sparked within him, and he swung down to get a closer look. To his surprise, he saw Spidey himself, battling a gang of mischievous villains. George couldn't believe his eyes. He had idolized Spidey for as long as he could remember, and now he was witnessing him in action. Not one to pass up an opportunity for adventure, George swung into action. He used his newfound powers to assist Spidey, shooting webs to trap the villains and swinging around with unmatched agility. Together, they made a formidable team. George felt invincible, like he could take on anything. But as the battle raged on, George noticed something peculiar. The leader of the villains, Dr. Arachnid, had a devious plan. He had set up a device that would release a swarm of robotic spiders throughout the city, causing chaos and destruction. George knew he had to stop him. With Spidey by his side, George devised a plan. They swung to the device, dodging the attacks of the remaining villains. George used his web-shooting abilities to disable the device, just in the nick of time. The city was saved from the impending spider invasion. As they stood victorious, George realized something important. Being a hero wasn't just about having superpowers, it was about using those powers for the greater good. He had witnessed firsthand the responsibility that came with great power. George felt a newfound appreciation for the heroes he admired. With their mission complete, George bid farewell to Spidey and swung back to his own world. As he woke up the next morning, he couldn't help but smile at the incredible adventure he had just experienced. From that day on, George understood the true meaning of heroism and vowed to be a hero in his own way, even without superpowers. And so, George's spectacular Spidey swing came to an end, but the lessons he learned stayed with him forever. He realized that bravery, teamwork, and a sense of responsibility were the true superpowers that anyone could possess. As George closed his eyes that night, he knew that his dreams held endless possibilities, just like the city of Manhattan and the amazing adventures of Spidey. So, my dear little dreamer, remember that even in the ordinary moments of life, you can find extraordinary adventures. Be brave, be kind, and always remember the power of your dreams. Sleep tight, and may your dreams be filled with spectacular swings through the city of your imagination. Good night, George. With a contented smile on his face, George drifted off to sleep, eagerly awaiting the next bedtime adventure that awaited him. And as he slept, the city of Manhattan twinkled outside his window, a reminder of the endless possibilities that awaited him in his dreams. Good night, George. Sweet dreams.